Eastern America here. Please subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell. So I would like to talk to you about today, monkeypox. M-Pox, M as in Mike, pox, monkeypox virus. All right, I just want to give you some background. I know I say it once in a while that I'm retired regular active Army. We were trained in NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical, okay? And we had protective masks, we had protective suits. And we went into MOP level 4 was the toughest thing we ever went into, which is the full suit with the mask on, but gloves and boots. And we've already been through COVID. And when COVID happened, when COVID first, it was like 2019, I think I had a flight to China. Yeah, 2019, December 2019. I had a flight booked for China. It was just a connection going to the Philippines. And I was very concerned because I started hearing about all this stuff. And it was really most of the coverage was in China. And, centered around the wet, what we found out later were the wet markets. And I canceled that flight and I booked another flight through Korean Air. And the only reason I canceled that flight is I was afraid to land in China. I had been to Shanghai one time before for a connection, but that was pre-COVID. And I didn't have any problems. I like China. I don't have any problems with China. But because of the virus being contagious and knowing what I was trained, I knew, or at least in my heart of hearts, I believed this virus was dangerous. So, and I'm not saying that it was a weapon or anything like that. I think it was an accident with the wet market where they had the animals on top of each other and somehow a freak virus got started. But I did get my refund about 2 weeks in because they canceled that China Eastern flight. There were 2 flights coming into JFK on the day that I was flying, and that was supposed to make the connection. And so I'm sure I got my refund quicker because it canceled the whole flight going into JFK, China Eastern Airlines. But moving along, I wore my mask from the very beginning with COVID. From the very beginning, I was even trying to correct people in the supermarket that they need to have their mask on. Yes, I was one of those. I even started trying to get like some video and all this, and I wore my mask, but I also wore cotton garden gloves. I did that so that making physical contact with stuff would be less contagious. So now we got this M-Pox virus, and one of the things, I know that the horse was out of the gate on COVID because there were apparently the flights were already in flight with this COVID. Now we got this M-Pox thing, and we got the World Health Organization saying that they should not restrict travel. Coming out of Africa with this virus, but now they've got a case in Sweden, I think, and they've got some other cases. I really wish we would get smart and shut down travel to and from places that are highly communicable, where these diseases can be brought onto airplanes. So, there was a lady saying, don't worry about it. All we need is education. I think she is World Health Organization, and isolation for the person who gets it. And, just touching someone, touching someone with your finger or your hand or touching them on the arm or whatever, snap, you got it. You got COVID, you got something, you got this monkeypox or M-Pox virus. And, I don't want to alarm anybody, but personally, I really want to wear my brown gloves. I'm on my next flight. I'm going to fly soon, and I would like to wear them, but I think it would scare everyone on the plane wearing brown cotton gloves. But certainly wear my mask on the plane. But the key is to minimize risk. In a perfect world, everybody be running around with brown gloves. See, those cotton gloves you can throw in laundry and run them on hot water with the detergent, and surely that would kill any kind of bacteria or any disease, I would imagine. But those are just some of my thoughts. If you do want to be safe and you're worried about a pandemic, and this M-Pox virus is like chicken pox, it has bubbles that surface above the skin. I mean, I had it as a kid. I think I had measles, maybe chicken pox also. I'm not sure.
Just chicken pox.
I did have chicken pox, yeah. And I remember as a little child, and see, now I'm grown up, but still, I remember my childhood. That was an unpleasant experience. I remember those lesions on my arm from way back, so as a grown up, it'll just be horrifying. And then in Florida, they have a case of leprosy. Leprosy from the Bible. Yeah, believe it or not, it still exists. And they had a case down there in Florida. And they did say they have a vaccine for that, which is amazing. And it's got to be taken sooner than later, I think. But later's fine, but you want to take it sooner than later. And then I don't know if they've got a vaccine for this monkeypox, this M-Pox. They might. I'm not sure. Please leave your comments in the comment section. I'd like to know what you think, or if you know of any vaccines. But I think this thing is going to start really spreading like wildfire. I mean, the way the World Health Organization talked about it,
Sweden,
M-Pox, going. I'm not sure. I think it's already spread to some other countries. I'm not sure how far, but you just got to research it. But those are my recommendations. Wear a mask and also wear gloves. I mean, if you're fearful of this disease. But if it gets worse, I am going to start wearing my brown gloves again. My brown cotton garden gloves. Yes, I am. I got quite a few pairs. I ordered them during COVID. I shook hands during COVID with my gloves on. Right-handed handshakes. I did fist bumps with my gloves on. I went to restaurants with my brown gloves on. I did take them off when they provided those plastic food service gloves that you put on when you go to the buffet or whatever. But I wore my gloves a lot during COVID. Absolutely. And I never got COVID, but I took all the vaccines. I took a bunch of them. I still got my vaccine card. I carry it with my passport, but no one ever asked for it anymore. But this M-Pox vaccine, please be safe. Be safe. Don't be touching people that you don't know. They already got these crazy idiots, pardon my language, that are touching flight attendants on the airplane, tapping them on the shoulder, and then they want to sue them and say things. And you don't put your hands on other people anyway. I would never tap a flight attendant. I wouldn't put my hands on a flight attendant. I'd just be patient and maybe even get out of my seat and go to the back and say, look, can I get a can of soda or whatever whatever you do, bottled water. But I wouldn't put my hands on people. So anyway, I hope everybody's safe out there. I only wanted to put this public service announcement out there to help people. I'm just trying to help people be safe. And, I can't control what's going on in the world. I don't drive the bus, but be safe out there. But those two things I think would be very helpful. Wearing your COVID mask or, whatever, surgical mask. That's what I use. I use those little surgical masks. They're cheaper, and I do believe they work. I believe there is some filtration in there that filters out the stuff, and I just use one over my face, and then I buy them in bulk, and I've got quite a few left, so I'll be taking them on the plane with me on my next trip. And then they help with pollution. If you're on a jeepney or open air vehicle that is stuck in traffic, all that smog and stuff. And now I'm looking at maybe going north, maybe in northern part of the Philippines somewhere, and they have the volcano Taal, Taal, up in Tagaytay, that has spewed some ash. They call it VOG instead of smog. I guess it's volcano type smog. You think about it. You ever dealt with volcanic rock. My father had a store, and he had a landscaping section. He had a bunch of these volcanic rocks for, you could put around your landscaping and make your house look good or whatever. Those things are very light. They call it feather rock. And it's really ash. It's just ash that's clumped together that looks like a rock. And you can actually lift it. You can lift these big boulder type volcanic rocks with two hands. They're very lightweight. But just imagine if it's the smog of a volcano. In other words, it's ash in the air. And then you inhale it. I already have scarred lung. You get something that can aggravate the lung. So stuff gets in your lungs and stays in there. Lungs are like a little tank, a little aluminum tank, and they could just irritate the inside of the lungs, lacerations and everything. And as you breathe, just things going around, a little ash, which is like a little rock, and it's scraping your inside of your lungs. So I'm sure we all have stuff in our lungs that we probably wouldn't want to know about and just keep us up at night. But what's done is done, but I'll be wearing my mask if I go up there to the northern part of the Philippines. I'll wear my mask. I hope, everybody's telling me it's okay now, but we'll see. Anyway, Eastern America here. Please subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell. Bye for now.